Welcome, boils and ghouls, to another True Crime Monday with Cyanide and Hemlock. Today, we'll talk about how not everything that you see on Halloween is all in good fun. Are you ready for this, Sin?
I am.
All right, here we go. On October 31st in 2010, 16-year-old Devin Griffin returned home after Sunday's church service to a quiet house, maybe a little too quiet. Of course, being a teenager, Devin was oblivious to his surroundings and headed upstairs to his room to play some video games. He wouldn't become suspicious of his noise-free house until around 1 p.m. Devin made his way down to his parents' master bedroom to find both his mother, Susan, and his stepfather, William, still lying in bed with their comforter pulled up over their heads.
Uh, okay.
Devin began talking to his mother in an attempt to wake her up, but she wasn't responding. He then tapped her leg and still got no response. Devin decided to pull down the blanket from his mother's face in a last attempt to wake her up, and that's when he noticed a blood-soaked pillowcase under her head.
Oh no, she did.
I mean, after talking to her for a bit, you would think that he would get a little worried, but no.
Well, okay. I've gone into my mother's bedroom plenty of times while she was sleeping, to use the bathroom or whatever. I know how she sleeps.
Right?
If if I were to go in one day and the covers were pulled over her head, I would be like, nope, that's suspicious
Mhm.
immediately. Ooh.
Devin didn't panic, though. He simply thought that this was his mother's way of playing a prank on him. It was Halloween, after all. Look, maybe they're very prank, they play a lot of pranks as a family. So this
Listen,
kid was very calm and collected until like reality set in.
oh, listen, uh, that's a dedicated ass prank though. Like just to sit there all day with that blood. Fake. If it's a prank, then it would be fake. But that's a dedicated prank to just sit there and be like, okay, any minute now,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna lay here with our heads under the covers, which I've done plenty of time, and it's not. After a while, it's just kind of like, hi, I'd like to breathe.
Right? It's hard to breathe in there.
So that's a dedicated prank. I'm not trying to be mean to this poor kid. He was probably, if I were to walk into a situation like that and found something like that, I would be trying to find any explanation other than, oh God, my mom is dead.
Yeah.
But there's also the logical side of me that sits there and goes, none of this is something's wrong.
Yeah.
And
Something was not right there.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that he was his brain was just immediately trying not to think of the worst thing possible, which good on him.
Mm-hmm. The scene before him began to come into focus, and his calmness turned to panic when he realized that this was no joke. Devin fled from his home before looking for his sibling, Derek, to get help. Devin called his aunt in tears, explaining the situation. She came over to comfort him, and they both called the police.
Hmm,
The
okay.
scene was described as grisly, even to experienced law enforcement. Both William, aka Bill, and his wife, Susan, were found dead in their bed. Bill was shot 5 times in the head and face. Authorities say that he was killed first and then he was positioned in the bed. Susan was shot 3 times. They believe that the shots fired from killing Bill woke her up and she tried to flee before being shot herself.
Oh.
Police were unsure if Susan had been sexually assaulted, but it was a possibility that is still unanswered. Now, you'll know that the fact that they didn't answer this is really weird, considering, like, as I read, you'll see who did it. So if that's a possibility, this is just beyond disgusting.
Oh no. He killed his parents, didn't he?
We'll find out soon.
Oh.
With more searching, the police found a third victim, Devin's brother Derek. He appeared to be curled up in his bed facing the wall. He had suffered severe blunt trauma from what would be later discovered as a claw hammer.
Oh, fuck. How old is that kid?
He was a younger brother.
Oh, no.
Derek had died almost instantly from the first blow, according to the coroner. So at least he didn't suffer.
At least he didn't suffer. Every one of these damn true crime files we do, children are involved. God damn it.
The culprit for this triple homicide? William's son, William, aka BJ, aged 24. Police swarmed the family's cabin 170 miles from the crime and arrested BJ for aggravated murder. This crime wasn't a shock to the family, though. BJ had a lot of problems leading up to this horrific day and was even said to have a mental illness that led him to kill his family.
Okay.
They've had a lot of trouble with him with the law, and he's threatened Susie before, but there's been all kinds of trouble, Griffin's Aunt Lori told to reporters. In 2004, it was reported that BJ had been charged with assault and robbery and was accused of hitting his stepmother, Susan, with a coffee cup and stealing her keys.
Jesus.
The charges for this were dropped when he pled not guilty by reason of insanity. I don't know how he got away with that, but you know.
I don't know how I feel about that. He hit his stepmother with a coffee cup?
Yeah, he threw it at her, stole her keys, and then ran away.
I. Listen, this motherfucker has a flair for the dramatic.
Right?
That is. That I don't feel like you had to go that far, dude. I'm pretty sure if she just snatched the keys and ran, she probably would have just been like, wait, oh, okay, bye.
Apparently, I didn't add all of this in because it was kind of just like filler, but like I had mentioned, that his stepmom, he was the kid from a previous marriage.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't his mom. And so when his dad got married or remarried, he seemed to not take that too well, I guess, because he was pretty young when it happened. And so he always fought with Susan. Like that wasn't the first time that something's happened. He like showed up in the bathroom when she was taking a shower and was like yelling at her. He has been physical with her multiple times.
Jesus, dude. Let's look. My parents got divorced when I was 12, I believe, 11 or 12. And my dad got remarried to my stepmom. I I had an adjustment period because there was some teenage resentment because I was an angsty teenager. But they're still married, and from every interaction I've ever had with her, she's a wonderful woman. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I understand some people not taking it well and freaking the fuck out over it, but I also don't understand when when your stepmom or stepdad has been nothing but good to you.
Yeah, it's not like she was mean to this kid at all.
Yeah. Yeah, like if she's been nothing but good to him or, tried to be good to him and tried to be like, I know I'm not your mom, but I am a parental figure in your life now and I'd like to take care of you or help you or whatever. Like he could have gotten so much worse for a stepmom,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't that I yeah, it bothers me. Listen, if my husband and I ever get divorced and he gets remarried to someone else and I am no longer in a relationship with him at all, I would want my kids to at least try to accept the person in their life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't. it always bothers me a little bit when people who have great step parents treat them like trash. Because you could have gotten so much worse. You could
Oh
have
yeah.
gotten an actual horrible person who is just trying to ruin everybody's life. But whatever, that's just me.
This wasn't his only run-in with the law, unfortunately. BJ had at least 3 encounters, and he was sent to Sandusky Home for mental health in 2007. So he was shipped away for this. Like they did everything they could to try to fix this kid,
Yeah, where was
and
his
he was in
mom?
there for a while. They never really said anything about his mom. It was always, I don't know if she died or if they just weren't together anymore, but
Okay.
she was never mentioned in like anything that I found.
So, like, they cared enough about him to make one of what is probably one of the hardest decisions ever.
Hmm.
If he didn't end up killing them, I'm gonna go find him and slap him. Just slap him. It's like, you dumbass. They cared about you. What the fuck? So many kids and teenagers and even adult children, you know, they don't have parents who give a shit. This person makes me angry. That's all I'm trying to say.
Um,
Jeez.
it was believed that BJ began acting out when his parents were divorced, like I mentioned, and his father remarried Susan. BJ had attacked Susan on multiple occasions, according to the neighbors. The same neighbors also accused BJ of torturing and killing their pets. One
Oof.
neighbor, the Gradles, had a dog that had been shot, and they believed it to be BJ because the gun that the dog was shot with, I didn't want to go into details because this is animal abuse,
Jesus.
but it matched the guns that he had. And apparently, this is a one off. Multiple people thought that he was torturing and killing their pets because it would just go missing.
Jesus Christ, dude. I so this troubled as fuck motherfucker is a serial killer in the making. Got it?
Yes, I think he would have, but again, we don't. I don't know. There wasn't much. He wasn't. He didn't talk
Uh,
to many people, but he was tried and charged with all 3 of the murders. The only thing that was said by BJ in the court, and it was emotionless, just blank faced to the jury, was, "I loved my dad very much, and it makes me feel sick every time I think about what I did." And he also said, "I can't really explain why all this had to happen, but I think most of it had to do with my mental illness." So he was trying to get off of it again by blaming that he was mentally unstable.
I but that's also vague enough to me for me to sit here and still kind of be a bit suspicious of the other kid.
So it wasn't him. There
Oh,
was evidence that it was BJ. Devin, so what
okay,
happened? Devin was with his dad.
okay.
So obviously, William's not his dad. Devin was with his dad, and then his dad dropped him off at home to
Oh,
get
so he
dressed
has
to
a
leave for
solid
church.
alibi.
Yeah, and then he went to church.
Okay.
And he apparently the murders had happened while he was at church.
Oh,
But he came
right.
back to do something, and BJ was there, and BJ asked him, well, this is before he went to church. He asked BJ asked Devin, "Oh, how long do you think you'll be?" And Devin
Uh,
was like, "Oh, I'm just going to church." And then
okay.
and he left. So it was like a 5 minute interaction between the stepbrothers. And then Devin left to go to church. BJ, we're assuming, it killed all 3 of them, got in the family truck, and fled to the camp. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So I guess I was just trying to explore all possible angles because the way he said that in court,
Hmm.
I mean, he may have well been, probably definitely was trying to go for the insanity defense,
Well,
knowing
it
he's
worked the first
guilty as
time.
fuck. But
Well, he
Okay.
has the, well, I'm in a mental institution like place, so I can play on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I got you. I got you. I was just I guess that was a question and it's been answered. Cool.
BJ was given life in prison without the possibility of parole for his heinous crimes.
Well,
Um,
good.
then, thankfully for everyone, I suppose, in a turn of events, while in prison, BJ took his own life in 2015 at the age of 29.
Oh, that's kind of
So fairly
depressing.
recently, well, if he did have mental health issues, which I mean, everything points to that.
Yeah.
And by the time he had gotten help, I think that it was too late
Yeah, for
because he had
sure.
already started killing animals and he had that pent up rage. Because it didn't say at what age uh, Bill and Susan had gotten married.
Yeah.
So if it was when he was really young, he had all this pent up rage that kind of just built up, and then he took it out on animals, and then he just snapped and killed, everybody.
So I feel like this might be a really good example for why you should probably get your kids therapy. Um, when you lose a parent,
Yeah.
especially when they're really young, because that could probably manifest as this kind of behavior when they're older.
Hmm.
Not saying that's a definite, but yeah, this to me does seem like as much as they cared about him and they wanted to get him help, it was too late. Help probably should have started when the mom left or the mom died or whatever happened to her. As soon as his father was basically single,
Yeah.
help probably should have started then because I don't know. It just it seems like he this could have been prevented, but at the same time, maybe it never could have been prevented. You never really know. That's what makes people kind of scary.
Yeah.
You never really know because
Uh,
how many serial killers had perfectly normal childhoods.
hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I know it's a new crime, new-ish. It happened 10 years ago. But they didn't touch much on it. They seem to focus like they do on everything on his mental health or
Yeah.
lack thereof mental health and that he killed himself.
Mm, I feel like, well, maybe there wasn't much more that could really be said. He had all these mental health struggles and mental illnesses, and it all just piled up and piled up and piled up until he killed people, which
Yep.
which is sad, but goddamn.
All right. That about wraps up our Halloween special True Crime Monday. Um, we just wanted to do a short one that seemed to be based around the holiday. And, you know, I guess sometimes take everything you see with a grain of salt on Halloween because it could be a prank or it could be an actual murder. I know this isn't the first time that something like this has happened where they thought it was a joke and
Mm-hmm.
come to find out it wasn't. And they didn't find out until a few weeks later when the body started to rot.
Yeah, the one that I've heard about so many times was the Halloween decoration for like a haunted house turned out to be an actual person.
Yep.
Yeah. And even the people who set up the decoration didn't even, well, I don't think they set it up. I think it was just there.
Yeah.
And people didn't realize that it wasn't, you know, probably just forgot about it. Probably people just sitting there going, oh, hey, someone hung up a new decoration. Cool.
Hmm.
All around. Anyway, so we gotta close this true crime file.
Yep.
And we're gonna thank y'all for watching. We hope you liked it. Stay spooky. And if this was the only video of ours you see during the during the 13 days of Halloween, then happy Halloween, I guess.
Happy Halloween.
Woo!